So today I'm talking about the worst date that I had in LA ever. Okay, ever. This date was the date from hell. It was the worst date of my life. Okay, so it almost had me second guessing dating anybody after that. I was like, oh God, no. So okay, I worked on a show called Ghost Whisperers. If y'all ever watch Ghost Whisperers, I worked on Ghost Whisperers. It was a great show with Jennifer Love Hewitt. Had a ball working on that show. And we were shooting like real late at night, early morning. So like 2 in the morning, it was freezing outside. By 1 or 2, it's freezing outside. Yes, it's California, but it's cold, okay? So it's really cold outside. And I was working on this show, and this guy, he basically was really nice to me. Like, he was bringing me hot chocolates, you know, like everything that's all set, you know, they try to keep me warm. We had the heating lamps and everything. They brought the heating lamps out for all of us, but he was like going and get me a hot chocolate, like, you cool? You? And we were talking, and we you know, kind of hit it off, and we talking, and we had a lot of fun in spite of being freezing. And then they had to pause production because gophers had made holes all over the lot, Universal lot in Studio City. Gophers literally had made holes, so we were stepping in. It was like, what? And so they had to pause everything to attack that situation. And I remember Jennifer Love Hewitt had this cute Cocker Spaniel that that was running around. So she went and picked him up because there was all these holes everywhere. And she was, first of all, let me just tell y'all, I probably should do another video on this, but I'm gonna talk about this a little bit. She was so sweet. That's one of the sweetest people I've ever met in LA, was Jennifer Love Hewitt. She was a sweet person. Like, even though she's the star of the show, she's looking out for everybody around her. Like, oh, bring more lamps, you know, make sure it's warmer for everybody, make sure they have enough hot chocolate. Like, she was on her game. Even though she didn't have to do all that, she did. And so I have nothing but love for Jennifer Love Hewitt. I actually still watch her on what is it, 911? Yeah. But I'm telling you, just like the sweetest ever. She's, you know, sit there, have conversations, you talk about things, talk about her dog and all those things. So she was a sweetheart. So, you know, me and this guy, we hit it off. So we're working on this show. We worked 14 hours plus, and in extreme temperatures. And it was a good month. It wasn't a month. It was like weeks. It may have been almost a month, but we was working. It felt like we was on that show for a long time because we worked on several different parts of the show, you know, for the show. So anyways, this guy's really nice and everything. So we talking about acting, talking about experience in LA. He was originally from Africa, actually. And we were just talking, you know, it was like, you know, how is it being in LA and all the things that he was involved in, what he was doing. I talked about what I was doing, you know, yada, yada, yada. Exchange pleasantries, exchange phone numbers. So every time we had to go work together on set, we just hang out because, you know, we got to be there 14, 15 hours a day. So we hanging out, we having a good time. So I think before we wrapped on this particular episode, he was like, you want to go hang out, you know? And I was like, cool. So after, we didn't wrap till like, I think it was like 6 in the morning. So wasn't no hanging out at 6 in the morning. So we made plans to like hang out the next day that everybody was off. But it was real relaxed, real chill. So it wasn't an official date then. Okay. Let me just clear that up. The next time we all went out to hang out, everybody, we just like, hey, we wrapped, let's just go hang out, like, ooh, you know. So it was cool. So we talked some more. So then he was like, yeah, let's go out, you know, it was a new movie coming out. He's like, let's check out this, you know, let's check out this tomorrow. And I was like, cool. So tomorrow came, you know, sis was getting together, you know. I was like, okay, because he was nice looking. He was very nice. Sis was getting together. Sis gonna be right, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready, like, for this date. It's gonna be dope. So I get to the Arc Cinema in Hollywood. Is where it was. Arc Cinema in Hollywood. If you know Hollywood, you know what I'm talking about. And I drive in because I was like, I'll meet you, because we lived, you know, different areas. I lived in the Valley and he lived in LA. Okay. So, further in like LA. So he drove, I guess. I don't know if he drove or not. I didn't see his car or whatever. I just know he was standing there waiting when I pulled up, and I went and I parked my car. So I pull up, park my car, get out. He's like, oh, you look nice, you beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, you know, thank you. You know, it's a good time. Like, I'm good. So we're standing in line. Well, we're going up to the front to pay for the tickets. He's in front of me. He pays for his tickets. So all is well. I get ready to walk in with him. The lady is like, oh, that'll be, I forgot how much it was, but whatever the cost of the ticket was, she was like, that'll be so-and-so and so-and-so to me. And I'm like, okay. Like, and at this point, I'm so confused. Like, I'm so freaking confused right now because I'm like, why is she telling me how much the tickets are? He just paid for it. I just saw him pay for a ticket. He paid for a ticket. So I'm thinking he paid for the tickets. So why is this lady telling me how much the tickets are? And I'm just smiling like I don't understand. Like, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? And I'm like, no, I don't. So I'm just like, okay. So I'm getting ready to walk in. And so the lady is, again, she's like, it's this, you know, this is the cost of the ticket. So at that point, I kind of figured out something. I was like, did this fool not pay for my ticket? Like, he asked me out. Did he not pay for the ticket? Nah, he had to pay for the ticket. Like, wait a minute. So I'm looking, I'm like, hey, and I could look at him and tell like he ain't paid for the ticket. I just looked at the look on his face and I was just like, so at that point in my mind, there's a lot of stuff going on. Like, you asked me out on a date, fool, and you can't pay for a movie ticket. And I know we just got paid, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just got paid, nah. But you can't. I ain't trying to spend your coins, but if you ask somebody out, then you should be prepared to take them out. If you're not prepared to take them out, then do not ask them out, okay? So I'm thinking like, okay, what do I do now? Do I just leave? But if I leave, I done wasted time. I done paid for parking. And it was a movie that I was gonna see anyway. I wanted to see. So I'm like, do I just go ahead? Let me just go ahead and pay for this. So because people looking at me, people behind us, I'm just like, okay. So I pay for the ticket, but I go in with a different, you know, mindset. Like, don't say nothing to me. Like, don't speak. Just be silent. Let's just watch the movie. You know, that was my mentality when I went there. It's like, nothing. Don't say anything. I can't, and I couldn't say anything. So after then, he was like quiet, you know, we went in, we sat down. He never said, you want some popcorn, candy, box, whatever, soda, like nothing. It was just like nothing. So some part of the movie, he did get up and go get him something to drink. Like, I was like, okay, this is so weird. Like, okay, so basically you went to the movie theaters and I went to the movie theater and we happened to see the same movie and just sit together, because this definitely ain't no date. That's where I was. Like, this is some ridiculous stuff. So, you know, he laughing and having, you know, enjoying the movie, and I'm sitting here, can't even enjoy the movie because I'm thinking about how dumb this is. Like, this is so dumb, son. Like, this is so dumb. Like, what am I sitting here for? Like, what is happening? So I'm just like, you know what? I don't even really want to see the movie no more. Like, I'm about to go. Like, I really wanted to get up and leave, but I didn't want to step across people. Now we in the middle and there's people there. So I just sat there and watched the movie in silence. So after the movie was over, he's like, you want to go get something to eat? I was like, no, thank you. You know what? I got stuff to do and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. And he was like, oh, okay. And you know, he was okay. You know, like, he didn't know what was going on. Like he was just clueless. He was freaking clueless, y'all. He was freaking clueless. Okay, so I left and I went home and I was like, oh, let me delete this number. Like, I don't want to talk to this dude. I know I'm probably going to see this guy again. So we get called back to the show to do some stuff on Ghost Whisperer, and I see him and I'm like, I am not talking to this fool. Like, I don't have nothing to say. And this was like 2 days after the date, so it wasn't a long time that had passed. And he called me and I wasn't answering all them days. So the couple of days that he called. So when we on set together, he's like, hey, I was trying to call you. Everything okay? Like, blah, blah, blah. And I was just looking at him like, sir, step away from the Tresey. Step away, you know, like that. And I was just like, yeah, everything's good. And I'm trying to move on. I know some people, other people there, so we talking. I'm like, please go to the other side. We sitting down, go to the other side. So he came back. He was like, wait, I thought we was cool. What's going on? And I said, nothing. We good. We good because ain't nothing going on. We good. So he kept pressing. And I was like, well, first of all, you asked me out. You know what I mean? I was like, you asked me out, and then, and before I could get into it, my mom was telling me, don't say it, because first of all, we got to work together sometimes, but my heart was saying, say what you want to say. But my mind kept saying no. My heart was saying, you go ahead and say it. So I was like, first of all, you asked me out, and then my heart won, and I told him kind of about himself. I was like, how you gonna ask somebody out and you don't even pay, and you don't, what, like, dude, we could have just went. You could have just been like, hey, you want to hang out? We can go separately. It wasn't an actual date where you invest time to get ready, to be prepared. You know what I mean? Like, it's not what. And so he listened, and then he was like, Freddie, was just like, he's like, oh, so you Hollywood now. So you trying to hit me with the Hollywood. And I was like, what is he talking about? What are you talking about, sir? What are you talking about? I'm trying to hit you with the Hollywood. And then I said, you know what? No problems. And then I really did hit him with the Hollywood. I was like, you know what? I'm focused on my career and stuff like that anyways. I'm not really, dating and all that. So it's all good. It's all cool. Just, it's all good. He was like, oh, you trying to be Hollywood. You real Hollywood. Okay. I see. I was like, what the heck? What the heck is happening? So anyways, that was the worst date of my life. And I know y'all say they ain't even bad. Yes, it was the worst date of my life. You don't know the pressure of people behind me looking at me, people around us like, go ahead, like either pay for the ticket or don't. I'm feeling all weird in the inside because I'm like, why did he do this? Like, why would you ask me out and not pay? Like, what did I misread? Like, what? And so I just had all these feelings. And then, just being young and a young lady in that world, it was a lot because there's so much you deal with in that world. You deal with a lot of rejection, you deal with a lot of insecurities, you deal with a lot of things. So all of those things, I was thinking like, wait, like, did I do something? Like, did I tell him that I was going to pay? Like, I'm going through my head like, no, I didn't. I didn't say that. No, I didn't say it. Like, I give him the impression that, it was, he told me it was a date, right? So I'm questioning myself now. And so it was just not good. It was not a good experience at all. But that was my first, that was actually my first date with an actor. So that might have had something to do with it, y'all. That was my first date with an actor. And that was my last date with an actor. My first and my last, okay? Not that I don't have anything against dating an actor. That's what I'm doing too. So like, I'm not hating, but it was, I'm like, maybe, I don't know. Maybe he was low on money or something. Like, I'm trying to make excuses right now. Nope, it was crazy. That was crazy. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Go out, be great today. Whatever it is you do, whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is you dream of doing, go out, do it, and be great today. Bye.